Yakumo.
Hi, Leo.
Welcome to come back to the Yakumo and Lee conversation. So this is the episode about Yakumo's trip in Japan. I was also in part of it, and it is the idea about being original. The whole series is about this concept, and so we share our journey and to to express those ideas. So Yakumo, do you want to continue um, sharing your journey?
Yes. So we're now in Arashiyama. Let me share my screen. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
So let's see what do we have. Okay. The picture is quite random. Alright. So I believe this is somewhere in.
What do you think about this um, training men everything equally?
Oh.
Height,
Oh.
like
Yeah, I mean this approach
push, yes, the fence,
to
the
gardening.
push
Uh,
fence. Like, what do you think about this idea? I mean, this is really much. I I don't know if I saw anything similar to this before in other countries.
Taiwan. Some
Maybe,
yeah,
yeah,
sometimes.
but if Taiwan did that, probably learn from Japan. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You you won't say this in at least in Canada, right? They are they are more wider in Canada. My opinion is, well, if if I don't have a sight like this, I don't have a view like this, I would think that must be not good. Because that will definitely remind me of uh, one's mind or body being restricted. Um, and as a person, I never want to live that way. Um, so I wouldn't think that that is any good to plants either.
yeah, I mean, this is also to show the character. Yeah, the character like. mm, um, you can make the photo larger. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you if you are outstanding, you'll be cut. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's like people. It's like a group of people. The culture.
Mm,
You're not supposed to be loud. You're not supposed to be taller
yeah.
or shorter. They don't they don't only trim the top. They also trim the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like not only you cannot stretch your head, but also your limbs. Like
Yeah.
those have been. I don't know. I feel like this is, but obvious. If you are the tree, you have a privilege over there. But if you are considered part of the bush, then you are just ordinary, and you're supposed to, I don't know, to accept this restriction. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is debatable. I think even the tree, I think they should suffer some degree of trimming as well. But mm, well, I think yeah, we were talking about the idea behind this. Why doing this, right? And if you accept the idea, you may accept this approach, this method of doing things. But um, if you don't appreciate the idea, you of course you wouldn't accept this.
On your understanding, what is this idea?
The idea is to um how do you say conformity um to or sacrifice.
Greater good?
Yes, again. Sorry, I.
To conform to the great of good?
Yeah, yeah, probably. And also, well, I got an idea. I just forgot. Okay. Also, it's kind of, I think it's kind of encouragement to sacrifice oneself, uh, for the whole um, community or the whole society. Um, because the idea is the society or the country is always more important than individual. Yes, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, you can continue. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think basically is this kind of ideas because of a greater good, like you say, a greater good. So you better sacrifice yourself. Um, so all together you can make these like this picture. All together you make this place seem clean and in order, right? And that is also kind of pursue that they have. They want everything neat. Um, yeah,
Sense of perfection. I mean the concept of being perfect. I can
yeah,
see the application, the the box. Yeah, the the application based on the form.
yeah.
Right? How they apply that. I can see that. I just don't fully agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me either. Um, even even I really love their culture, but this part doesn't really appeals to me.
But when you force a certain shape
Yeah,
or well, let's say the shape, into everything, then it's just it can be really superficial.
yeah.
If you go back to
It's
what is
just
the
a shape.
meaning,
Yes, it's just a
yes, yes.
shape.
If you don't go back to the meaning behind, what is the spirit, and then you select whatever shape accordingly.
Yeah,
Uh, then just make everything box, like everything rectangle. I think it's somehow can be really lazy, yeah.
Yeah. It's a lazy way to do things, um, and and it's sure that I think for people who trim these this bush, they didn't see these bush as plants. They probably see them as brick or um,
It's materials, yeah,
yeah, just some material to.
decoration, whatever, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand they probably pay attention to the details very much, um, in terms of the what kind of ratio they should create, what kind of combination, and what kind of colors, uh, whatever, what kind of plants that you like plant together. I
Yeah,
understand they made a lot of effort,
yeah,
um, but just it can be it can be misleading as well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think this also um, um, shows some similarities to what you previously mentioned. Like you feel you feel pressure in this country, right? You feel everybody's got the pressure to be certain way to do certain way. So yeah, so I think this bush is kind of reflects the Japanese people. Yeah.
So what is this place? Do you remember?
Uh, I don't remember the exact place, but I just used to take pictures of whatever I feel something. So let's just say this is just a scene in Arashiyama, and it's quite typical, I think. But I just like the way it looked. Um, um, the pebbles on the ground, the traditional house. Yeah. So I just we just walk around, and this is not any specific place.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe we take another look.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, so this is another um another corner. Um,
It's a restaurant, yeah.
yes, it's a restaurant, and I didn't went into it, but yeah, another typical buildings architecture they have, and yeah, it's also yudofu. Remember last time we talked about yudofu?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's also offer. It also offer yudofu.
But those bars, like,
Yeah,
is feel
a
it
little
feels
bit like
a little bit like a prison, yeah.
prison. Yeah. If you don't mention, I didn't notice. Yes. It's a bit like that.
This is also very typical in Japan, I think. You have those, well, consider privacy, consider a sense of protection. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't see, you don't often see like big clean window, like
Mm.
in Japan, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Unless you live in a very Western style house.
Mhm.
But yes, they do use windows, but just like you say, there won't be a whole piece um, of of glass of glass. There will always be frames, and the frame will keep them smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I remember. This one is just by just next to the restaurant that we just say. So I didn't count the number, but I believe there must be a certain meaningful number of how do they call this?
Statues, yeah. There's
Yeah, they're not just any statues. They are one kind of character in Buddhism, uh, like
what?
Lohan, right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm,
Lohan.
I'm not sure, yeah.
So I believe there's a certain number um, there, but I didn't really count it. Just you can feel there's a lot, yeah, a lot, and each one is different.
I remember I had a friend before, and he likes to emphasize that Japan is not a religious country. Uh,
Mm-hmm. A
but
Japanese friend?
yes, yes. Um, and
What's
but
the point?
I don't
What's
know what
his
is his
point?
point. I guess he doesn't like people to feel like Japan is like Shindao, like
Uh,
Buddhist country. So
yes.
he emphasized that he's not an easygoing person. So uh, is but when I visit Japan, I feel like there's a lot of influence from religion,
Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe they don't have like, oh, you legally you have to be a part of Buddhism or something, but
Sure. Sure.
culturally they definitely have a lot. So if you look at this, then tell me this is not anything about religion. Yes, of course, it is
No.
something to do with religion,
Yeah.
and it's everywhere. It's like in many places. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in Kansai, I think you can um, feel Buddhism is kind of everywhere. Um, because I'm not familiar with the other part of Japan, but but when I when I go to Kansai, I definitely feel about it everywhere, and you will have countless temple to visit if you like.
yeah, different kinds, and also small temple
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Even
at the
even
corner of the street. Like,
yeah, even hide in the alley.
yeah, the I mean Taiwan as well, but I think maybe the difference, Japan is more well preserved and less colorful. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in Slovenia, I also feared like, you have those Catholic um, statues everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's part of a tradition. Like if you go to a small village, and you have this small street at the corner, there must be a small temple there, some kind of. Then you have Mother Maria, like
Yeah.
very sacred statues there. Um, I think this is yeah, it's a part of culture. Of course, if we naturally become part of this melting pot, then it's fine. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish if this is religious or this is just a part of the culture. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to statues like this, I think it's quite obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite obvious. Uh, it's definitely from the Buddhism. This.
Yeah. Because last time we were talking about creativity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think the culture, the religion, somehow also can be uh, like um, stream of the creativity, because obviously when there's, for example, when the Catholic was very strong
Yeah.
uh, politically in Europe,
Yeah.
they oppress whatever don't like their idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're a creative person, you can be burned very easily. Yeah. Uh, and, um,
It can be
you
both.
don't expect Spanish Inquisition. Yes.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it probably happened in in a Buddhist country as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, as I know, the Buddhism really once own political power um, very much once. I don't remember what time, but there was time that they really they also get into politics. But not now. I think the time has passed. Now is I think is only um, kind of um, uh, high in no, not just high, not high, it's just
Behind
um,
the scene, yeah, it's just
yes, and it's just um, dissolve into everyday life. The, the Buddhism, mm, um, Buddhism culture has dissolved into Japanese culture. So they will um, have um, holidays, fairs.
mhm.
Uh, they will have many days to celebrate based on Buddhism. Yeah, a year during a year they have quite a lot of days. Of they will celebrate something. Just and they are come from Buddhism. Yeah.
Yeah, because I found the fundamental Buddhism ideas can be super neutral.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure.
but
Should
but
be.
but when it is interpreted as the Buddhism today, especially those group uh, different kinds of Buddhism Buddhist how do you say it? Um, like uh, different style if you want. Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Different branches.
yeah, different branches. Then it becomes like you have to follow certain practice, or you have to um, you have to read certain classic.
Yeah.
Uh, like yeah, it become more and more narrow and narrow and narrow. Like yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
So yeah, I think this is also the way. Obviously, we are talking about this country. We are talking about creativity. What does it mean to be original?
Yeah.
And I feel like uh, there's some kind of imitation of the culture. There's some kind of respect of the culture,
Yeah.
and but things like that can be a really it can be a true obstacle for whoever want to improve or want to be creative. Um, because when I saw those statues, I didn't I didn't feel good. I feel it's like a civilian. Like it's like it's like
Mhm.
okay, what are you like we are watching you,
Yeah. It
It's,
could be. It could be.
yeah. I mean, if they're just statues, it's fine, but they don't they represent a strong influence behind. So maybe this is the purpose. They want people to fear
Yeah.
the 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 supernature, or
Yeah.
the deity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Could be. But overall, I usually compare my own experience about Buddhism in Taiwan and in Japan. Maybe it's because I am not a Japanese, but I always um, feel more peaceful uh, in Japan when it comes to something about Buddhism. Um, yeah, maybe it's because the way they treat it are different. But yeah, I have to say I kind of like their way. Um, but you're right. Things like this, if you uh, think deeper, you will find that for people who are trying to be creative, trying to um, uh, yeah, trying to try to be creative, this kind of strong, strongly um, rooted into everyday life culture might be a very big obstacle, especially when people uh, not yet realize uh, the degree of their liberty. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you just go back to the initial idea of the Buddha, I don't think he expect it becomes like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think this is quite clear. You see, it doesn't matter the Buddha, doesn't matter the Christ. Like they don't expect what is it will become, what is like today. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But when you talk about this, it reminds me like it's kind of educational issue. Like when it comes to yeah, not only the religion, but also all the subjects that we teach today. We all have similar situation. Like something was not supposed to be that complex or so many with so many rules, but when it comes to education, it seems that it will always end up like like this. People um, the later people they will come out with these complex rules. So yeah, either intentionally or just um, or not, but it seems that they have to um, do this to educate um, the other people. I
This
don't know.
is
Yeah.
this is really funny because to mention Buddhism, the key is to be free from the circle of suffering. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And the the method is to deal with attachment.
Yeah.
But if you see today's organization, um, Buddhist organization or petitioners, like they show the strongest attachment, yeah,
Yeah.
for whatever the form, the ritual, the classic books, the temple, like the format, yeah, is all the format they hold it so tightly, um, so they feel like they can reach
They can
this.
they can be safe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not against everything. Obviously, there's there's how do you say the you pick your poison, yeah, like but still I feel like when people are continue being far from what is the initial idea,
Hmm.
then they can go really really far. They
Yeah.
can just totally forget, okay, so what does it mean in the beginning, the Buddha, yeah, you have to look into your heart, you need to find your own way, yeah, to be free there's no shortcut, you have to find your own way. Like I think this is very, if you just look at this, it's a very simple idea, but it is also true it's very difficult for most of the people. Most of
Yeah.
the people would like to follow certain things. They
Yes.
believe there's a shortcut. They believe there's an instant, package they can get and they can be filled, um, you know, immediately. I
Yeah.
feel like it just continue enlarging this, you know, side of humanity, um, and it become like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, yes, in comparison, I think this is much better than Taiwan, but the the
Problem
effect is very
problem
similar.
is the same. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, mm, yeah, and I just feel like Yeah, and this is maybe people might think, why we are discussing this. This is maybe they think we think too much. But I feel like whenever this channel is about looking for what is real, yeah, and as well as like we're talking about the names, like I feel like it's very easy. You can see like in a certain culture, in a certain group, um, many people don't have names. They've either follow something or they represent something else. They don't have names. They don't have, and when it comes to, let's say we're talking about the business, if you don't have a name, it is hard. Yeah, it is
Nothing.
to establish.
Yeah.
It is really hard. Except you don't want people to know your name. Maybe you are doing something, like um, really private or something, you don't want people to know. Otherwise, like, look, I am a Buddhist. If I say I'm a Buddhist, it's like a name, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, it seems like from what we see, I'm a Buddhist is more important than what is my name.
Mm-hmm.
You feel this kind of
Yeah,
uh,
just like the job. Okay.
yeah,
People search sense of safety with these tags. But yeah, I think I know what you mean. People search for tags rather than their real face, real name, right?
yeah,
Identity. But tags, these are tags. Um, they don't really tell people who you are.
yeah. And commercially, we also constantly promoting other brands rather than ourselves. I think this is very common. And I think, yeah, mentioning Japan, Japan is probably is a very good example. You feel like last time we were talking about the character, the human character, the restaurant character, but the names, yeah, like when there's a different names, except they are big company like Toyota, like
Yeah.
Sony. You feel like okay, so except those, where were the names of the people? I feel like this is yeah, this is also happening in Slovenia. You consider you are expected to be quiet, like yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, those concepts all relate to each other. Yeah,
Sure.
but is yeah. Uh, having said that, I also had a good experience when I visited Kyoto. So that's just we are not just trying to be picky. Yeah,
Yeah.
like is um, I think it's a yeah. When I travel, I also think about those things. Yeah, yeah,
Sure, sure. No matter where you are, yeah, I think that keep us alive. Me too. If I don't have any real concern, any real yeah, no matter where we are, something is always important, um, and we'll keep thinking of it. I think that's natural. Yeah.
yeah. Obviously. Okay. Thank you very much for today's conversation and sharing of idea, the photos, interesting photos. Um, so next episode we can continue working on this place if you want, or you can choose a different place. But yeah, I think it's good for today.
Thank you.
So thank you everybody for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See you.
See you.